Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist, coming at you with your monthly forecast. So if you're new to numerology, I always do this a little bit of a moment right before we start because it is important. If you're new to numerology, welcome. And yet, if you are not familiar with your personal year number in numerology, I ask you to please take one moment, head over to FeliciaBender.com, click on monthly forecast. There is a calculator there that will calculate your personal year number for you. There's also, if you look down in the description box, a very brief, very simple way to calculate that because these forecasts are based on the personal year number in numerology. They are not based on the life path number. Okay, so those are two entirely different things in numerology. We just want to make sure you're at the right place at the right time, listening to the correct forecast. And I also want to say that I feel somewhat compelled to start out these forecasts by making an observation here. And that is that it's been a rather intense and butt-kicking eclipse season for those of you who are astrologically inclined, even those of you who are not, even though, I don't know, if you're listening to a numerology video, more than likely you're keeping track of the astrological currents as well. So October was really intense in terms of the eclipses. Things are going on. Going on in the world, going on in our personal lives in a very intense fashion. So October was just a very transitional, transformational time that we're all kind of still reeling from and benefiting from. And yet it can be a lot. That's all I'm trying to say. So it really doesn't even matter what personal year you're experiencing right now. It is going to feel like a lot. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, how did that shake out for you, or how is it continuing to shake out for you in terms of eclipse season? There was a lot of Libra energy in there, a lot of relationship stuff going on across the board. So if that's something you faced in October, basically the only reason I'm bringing this up is because you are not alone. You're not alone at all. We're all going, is anyone else noticing it here, that there's a lot going on? Yes, we are all noticing it. Those of us who are noticing it are noticing it. So I really feel it's extremely important to seek out insightful, supportive information that supports all of us in making the most out of these experiences that we're having. And sometimes that simply means knowing that you're not the only one who might be a bit up against it right now and not know why. So now you know why. So I feel like it's really, truly paradigm shifting right now in the world. This is made volatile by the world events that we are experiencing, looking at all of this, right? And so I just want to say that that you and I and we all have this community of like-minded folks who are really working on it in some way, shape, or form, working on evolving your personal consciousness so that it can reverberate out. However you might personally define that. So I just wanted to start out with that little cosmic hug. Really, I need one. So so I hope you need one because I'm extending it out to you. I think we all really need it. So okay. For November, if you are in a 6 personal year, you are experiencing an 8 personal month in November. Okay, so this is a month for business and personal empowerment. There is no question about it. This is a high-powered month for you. So downtime, wherefore art thou? It is not in November. Sorry, sorry, not sorry, but here we go. October was more of a quiet time. And in this 6 personal year of yours, it was nothing if not demanding that you kind of, kick back and just, process things. Now, rather than kicking back, you're needing to kick it into gear. Okay. So lucky you get 2 number 8 personal months this year. Don't you feel special? So February was your first one. So if you can hearken back to February, see kind of what was going on then for you and get kind of the vibe and see if there's any similarities there. Maybe there's some similar issues, similar victories, some similar things playing out. And so, but you get two of these power months in the year of 2023. So there's really a good deal of business to attend to in November. Some of it may relate to your ongoing business, business stuff, your enterprises, whatever you want to call it, whatever's going on with your business, with your career, that sort of thing. And yet the undercurrent centers around, wait for it. You guessed it. Yep. Family and relationship matters. Ta-da. You're in the final stretch of this 6 personal year, okay? And November offers the opportunity to take control of your life in a profound way that you maybe haven't before. You might dive into some books or some modalities that focus on ancestry, maybe on karma or behavior patterns. Maybe you suddenly get interested in hypnotherapy or past life regression, maybe some family constellation work. Why not explore that this month? Because in an 8-month, these 4 weeks are all about power, all about empowerment, you taking the reins in your life. And if there are some things in your family dynamics, which, let's face it, every single solitary person on the planet who has a family, and everyone does, or at least they have had, right? So anyway, and I was going to say in any event, I guess that's what I was going to say, but this really is a power month for you for that. So this entire year has been a pool of reflection for all things that fall in the love and relationship, home and family category, right? With a large dose of that attention being on how you love and how you want to be loved, where you feel at home, and if you feel at home, those sorts of questions. And in a deeper way, these events of the year have forced your hand and really made you confront yourself on so many levels. And it's interesting because I've been doing a lot of conversations with several friends of mine about attachment styles, right? That's becoming really big in relationship circles and relationships in couples therapy and just therapy. Like, what is your attachment style? And that sort of thing. So if you don't know your attachment style, you could look that up and see how that might reveal certain patterns and certain ways in which you engage in this 6 energy of your year in the relationship patterns that we have. So I would just say that the focus is truly on personal empowerment this month. And of course, since the 8 is involved, it's going to bring up your financial health as well. So on the down and dirty kind of practical end of things, take care of any contracts or agreements that are related to your home on or about November the 5th. Iron out any tax, insurance affairs needing attention during the week of November 9th. Anything having to do with financial planning would really benefit from taking priority right now. This might also be a month where some real estate matters are coming into play. Maybe you're even buying or selling a property, that sort of thing, because it's a 6 personal year, home, family, all of that. And then the 8 is kind of that real estate number as well. So that could be something that you are also engaged in potentially. So a family member right now, though, might need assistance from you in some way, shape, or form, maybe on some private legal or financial matter, potentially around November the 18th. And on that more subliminal end of things, this is a time to consolidate some longer range plans for what you're seeing for yourself for the not so distant future, but the future. So that 6 energy of your year supports creative projects, and helps you to see the bigger picture, right? Helps you to be a little bit more visionary, whether it has to do with your own life and your situation within it, or with just what you want to accomplish, right? Hopefully you've allowed yourself to tap into whatever creative urges that you've had this year, whether it's been building a new business or taking on an interior design project. Who knows how that might show up for you personally, but that 6 is a very creative, magnetic number. Sometimes I think it's over, the idea that the 6 is only about that home, family, that kind of responsibility is a little out of balance for the 6, because it's very creative, very visionary as well. So understand this, though, about the 8 energy of November. This energy of the 8 that you have at your ready, supporting you for these 4 weeks. This energy works by knowing what it already has to work with, right? And then expanding the value of it. I hope that makes sense. So it's not the time for something brand spanking new per se, right? Not something for innovation. It's really more of a time where you could amplify the success of what you've already put into place. Even if we use real estate terms as an example, or just real estate, it's like buying a distressed property and adding value. Right? It's like you already have the property in place. Now you simply need to add value to end up to be able to make a profit turning it around. So it's kind of like, is there something that you have right now that's been maybe sitting idle or underutilized, undervalued? And maybe this is a month where you open up to see how to make that, to turn that around and turn that into something of value. Right? So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, the combination of this month's energies supports you in making things happen, to creating something from what you kind of thought was nothing, or at least very little, right? And taking something that you already have and increasing its worth and its value. So I hope that happens for you, and this gives you a little push in that direction. So I've also known people in their 6th personal year whose mission really focused on self-exploration, because we talk about the 6th personal year, we're usually talking about, your home and your family, and you're being, self-sacrificing, and you're, all of those heightened responsibilities to everyone else. Well, I also know that there are a lot of people I work with, a lot of clients I've had who are like, I don't have kids, my kids are all grown, everything's fine, I'm not in a marriage or a partnership anymore, don't want to be. And then they'll say, but I've really been exploring myself this year. I've been exploring who am I now? What do I like? What do I want to be doing? How can I expand myself in this way? So it's often a time where self-care in this way comes into place, and where you can kind of put yourself on the top of your priority list, rather than, I don't know, 3rd or 5th down the list, right? Put yourself at number 1 on that, and rather than focusing all your efforts on others, right? You could be at that point in your life where that is a more of a possibility. If you're still in that super responsible phase, it can be a time where you're really being asked to step back and modulate that. Take some time for yourself, because we can't what's a good metaphor? You can't feed someone with an empty refrigerator. It's just like, you can't do it if you can't drive a car when it doesn't have gas in it, or its electric battery isn't charged, right? So you've got to make sure that you are charged up before you can be there and be effective to help others, right? So while this year is still all about love, all about responsibility and relationships, it doesn't really necessarily mean that you're totally off or you're out in left field if it's been more of a self-exploration and self-nurturing year. That's my point of bringing this up, okay? So with that said, November is a bit more demanding in getting your financial ducks in a row and tending to what is hopefully your newfound empowered identity within your relationship world. So this is the month to focus on money and your financial health, and the other stuff will fall in right behind it. All right, that is your forecast for November. If you are numerology curious, you want to know more about your own numerology, head to FeliciaBender.com. There's plenty of free stuff there. I've got all kinds of things about the life path number, articles about your numerology, all aspects of numerology. You can also book a private session. There are courses and all kinds of things there that will feed your numerology curiosity. So FeliciaBender.com. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you back here next month to see what December might have in store for you.